there are other brands, other channels that we are familiar with as well. I believe we are all very familiar with the idea of memes. And when we talk about memes in Singapore, we think about wow, wow. That's coming from Darshan over there. Hi. Okay, and we have a very large meme community on the internet. 9gag, of course. But over here in Singapore, we have our very own. Thank you very much. Which everyone is very familiar with. So today we have the honor of inviting the head of creator growth of SGAG's HEPMIL Media Group. We have Chua, Yuxuan to share with us how did SGAG survive so far with a simple tool, humor. All right, let's put our hands together. Yuxuan, please.
Hey.
Yuxuan, you have fans. Okay, hi Yuxuan. A little introduction to yourself, to everyone over here.
Oh, right. Hi, guys. I'm Yuxuan. I'm the head of creator growth at HEPMIL Media Group. Just an interesting story. I've been with HEPMIL and SGAG for about 7.5 years. Yeah, so I've witnessed the team grow from a 5-man unit to a 200-man unit across the 6 countries that we have.
I hope you have received a long-term service award.
I will talk to Xiaoming later.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry, Xiaoming. Okay, anyway, so maybe a formal hello to everyone about HEPMIL, because I believe as audience we kind of have seen HEPMIL, passing through our eyes, but what actually is it?
Yeah, so HEPMIL Media Group is actually a network of media companies across the region, like what I mentioned. We're in Singapore, we're in Malaysia, we're in the Philippines, we're in Thailand, Vietnam, as well as Indonesia. And we really aim to entertain the millions of Southeast Asians through 2 things. One is our platform content, which is our own and operated platform content, your SGAGs, your MGAGs, and PGAGs. And the other one is through HEPMIL Creators Network. So, when during the pandemic, we realized that TikTok creators were the up-and-coming thing. So we wanted to really empower creators across the region to give them sustainable careers and also connect them with brands. So HEPMIL Media Group, it's a holding group, and we have all our content companies as well as HEPMIL Creators Network. Yep.
Yuxuan, at this point, I had enough because we've been hearing HEPMIL, HEPMIL, HEPMIL. What is HEPMIL?
SGAG.
What is HEPMIL? Why is it HEPMIL?
Okay, that's an interesting question. So maybe I can throw it out to the audience out there. You can guess what HEPMIL is. I will share with you the answer after this session is over.
Okay, people who know, please shh.
You can just guess, right? I mean, it's quite simple actually. Just don't read too much into it.
Don't read
it's a
too
visual wordplay, just saying.
Wow, okay, visual wordplay, huh? Okay, so before we reveal the answer, I have a question. Okay, so SGAG. When we think about SGAG, we think about humor.
That's right.
Now, why is it such an effective tool in attracting audience, according to SGAG?
Right, according to SGAG. So, I mean, if you think about humor, it creates an emotional connection. So, for example, if I sit down and I say, hey, Belle, I rarely will go, hey, Belle, remember that video that was so informative? I'll be like, hey, Belle, remember that video that was so funny?
So funny.
I died, right? So, when you see something funny, it creates an emotional connection that can never be replaced. You remember it, and it sticks in your mind forever. Right? And increasingly, in this world of content, we have so many choices, and you gotta grab attention, and you gotta be that top of mind recall. And I think humor is a great way of doing that. You grab that attention, you make people remember about your video, and when you get to that stage, people have a higher propensity of absorbing messaging.
That's interesting. Okay, this is a question apart from the list that I have over here.
Right.
So, we all love humor. However, when creating humor content, especially when you represent like pretty much a very iconic label in Singapore, I would say, sometimes humor may not be easy for everyone. Sometimes it's very challenging because when people watches this humor content, they are very made up, or very forced. Has SGAG or HEPMIL actually faced such challenges when they were starting?
I mean, in the earlier days, of course, right? And I think we really tried our best. And I think this goes into a point where it's pretty important. If any of you in the audience here, you are thinking of trying humor, it's really critical to listen to your audience, right? Because the audience and the people who watch your content is a self-regulating kind of device. The moment your content is not funny, you will notice. You either have no comments, no engagements, no whatsoever, and if your content is cringe, you will get the comments they are commenting about it, and you realize,
Interesting. I think that's why SGAG kind of started with memes as well, right? We tap on the trend at a point of time.
Exactly. I think memes are so important because they are super reactive, they're hyper reactive. In meme culture and in meme timelines, if you are 1 week late, you are almost non-existent.
Yes, I understand. So, according to the tradition or culture in SGAG, right, how do you think, okay, how should creators make use of humor in their content? Any little tip that we can take away? Teach me a little bit.
I mean, okay, it depends on what kind of creator you are. If you want to be a humor or comedy creator, and then you ask me this question, I think you cannot be a comedy creator. No, just kidding. But if let's say, yeah, in any other form of creator, you don't actually have to think too much into it, right? Go for the low-hanging fruits. You don't have to write, oh, is this script funny or not, right? Just extract the relatable moments, the moments that really make you go like, and try to just condense it and convert it into your content and start small, right? You don't have to, oh, is this funny or not? Wow, is this, the punchline is not there, right? Just go ahead, go with the flow, experiment, and the audience will tell you what they like and what they don't.
I actually agree with you. Yesterday, we were at the treetop with some influencers sitting right here today. So what I observed from them, right, is also, when working together, you just come up with an idea that just sparks from nowhere, and then you just record, and it may not be concise, during the first take, and then slowly, you take over again, and then you concise and take out the main points, and that's how you edit it. So really, you don't have to think so much about it also.
Yeah, just start. Don't think so much.
Just do, don't think. Okay, key takeaway from HEPMIL. Okay, is there any taboos when using humor in content creation?
Yeah, I mean, along the years, we've gotten into a bit of trouble here and there. And there are your conventional taboos, right? Oh, don't make racist remarks, skirt political conversations. I think those are pretty self-explanatory. In fact, you can key that question into ChatGPT, it'll tell you what to do, what not to do, right? So the thing is, after so long, the most important taboo here is you have to be ready for the consequences of what you're making fun of. Right? And you think about it, if you make a racist comment, for example, are you ready for the fallout that's probably going to happen? Are you ready for what you are about to face? And when coming out with the content, you have to have that benchmark internally. If I insert this punchline or insert this joke, is it going to get me 10,000 more followers?
But sometimes we can't really, predict the future.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could, but yeah, you can't. But I think that's where we sort of err on the side of caution.
That's the risk, right?
Yeah, that's a risk.
Cool. So, can I check with you how has the use of humor in marketing and advertising evolved over time? And what are some of the current examples of effective humorous campaigns that HEPMIL and SGAG has done?
Right.
Quite a big question over here.
It is. Okay, if you ask me, in my honest opinion, I think the days where, in the past where, made me sound very old, but in the past where, you used to have that one defining advertisement, on the prime TV slot, and everyone was talking about it. It was so funny. And I think those days are maybe a bit behind us, right? That funny advertisement, wow, everyone talks about it for weeks and weeks. I think the format has changed. Mm-hmm. I think the ability for every single one of you here to make funny content, it's here, and it's a democratization of media, right? Everyone here can make funny content, not just the big production houses, not just the big media houses. And I feel that it's important, how humor has changed is you have to be relevant and you have to be funny. And I think the brand that does this very well is IKEA. Because if you notice, I think IKEA used to have really reactive marketing and reactive advertising. Whenever something happens to do with some ponding or whatsoever, they react, right? And yes. Come up with a new product that sounds like it. Yeah, so I think those guys have got some things figured out. They are able to react hyper fast, and they are also able to add their little sense of cheekiness and humor to it.
Yeah. Was there ever any interesting and effective humorous campaigns that SGAG has done?
Okay, I mean, not to blow my own horn here, to my own horn.
I asked the question.
But it's a little bit different because we are a content platform that makes funny content. So I think what we have locked in and done pretty well in the past, it's to come up with funny characters. Because when you come up with funny characters, caricatures, first of all, the talents are actually just playing someone. so they can easily get away with something that they say or something that they do. But characters are memorable. It goes back to the first point, right? Okay, what makes you remember things? What makes you wear your defenses down against a campaign, right? So in the whole couple of years that we've been doing, we tend to want to build characters like your neighborhood auntie, right, with that wig, or people that you love to hate. Caricatures and characters that you confirm know you have seen before already, right? And then we amplify that. And we realize that through these characters, it's a bit more easier to weave in campaign messaging.
Nice. Okay. So, SGAG is about humor. We have campaigns. We have talents under them, creating contents. Yeah, I thought you wanted to say something.
No.
So, what is HEPMIL doing currently? Apart from, gathering creators, like humorous creators. Can I say that? Am I offending you guys?
Actually, maybe just to correct. So HEPMIL, because we want to go for scale, and we really want to connect the creators to the brands, we have even pushed beyond humor. In fact, we are signing non-exclusive comedy, beauty, lifestyle, and even food creators.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Then can you hire me lah?
Yes. We can talk about this backstage. But yeah, and I think beyond that, we are also coming up with a talent development program. And we really, really want to build sustainable careers and drive social growth for these talents that we have to really work with brands further in the future.
Hasn't SGAG been doing this talent acquisition?
Yeah, we have, but I think the model of it has changed a little bit. In fact, the talents that we used to have are a little bit teetering on the part-time kind of, because they have their own careers in SGAG as well. But now, the talents that we acquire, the creators that we acquire are full-time. So they do full-time content creation, that is their life. They basically have zero to no commitment on their SGAG avenue.
I see, and I've actually noticed such changes as well because I have a friend, Amy. I'm not sure if she's here today.
Yeah,
Amy was
saw
just
her at
doing
lunch, so I think she's here.
probably here or there. So she was doing it casually before, and then after that they joined SGAG as a full time as well. So what is SGAG working on currently?
We are building a plane. No. We are. I mean, for SGAG, we really want to tap into this creator ecosystem and creator economy and talent economy that we have built here, and we really want to see how much we can push the social growth of these talents. Because I think the concept is a little bit similar to an accelerator program, for example, right? If you want to bring a talent to social prominence, where could we possibly place him or her? And that's tapping on our expertise of SGAG. We reach like 1 million followers across the different channels, and that's actually a good channel for social stars to gain prominence. And when they grow, we grow in return.
Nice. Okay, so does that mean people who wants to have interest in joining HEPMIL, they can send you guys like an email or something?
Yeah, definitely. You can look for me. We can have a private chat. My talent manager, Rong Ming, is there as well.
So
and
DM
actually,
her,
Zaki, Darshan, or even Das is there. Yeah,
so just DM them, is it?
No, DM me or Rong Ming. You can talk to the rest.
They'll be very busy. From now on, they'll be flooded.
Right.
Okay, now I have a last question for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
I have one question for you
Sure.
right now. So what is exactly HEPMIL about? What is HEPMIL?
HEPMIL, actually, it's just limpe spelled backwards.
Again?
It's just limpe spelled backwards.
Limpe spelled backwards.
Yeah.
Now all of you know HEPMIL means limpe. Who is limpe? Who is the pe? Is it you?
I think that's for everyone to think and find out, right?
Okay, cool. Is there anything else you want to share about SGAG, of our friends over there in SGAG?
I actually think that, and I know that maybe some brands here, or maybe some creators here, are here to find out how they can insert humor into their marketing messaging or whatsoever. And I just want to place it out there that it really depends on who your target audience is. Because the moment you know who you're speaking to, you can cater the level of humor, the degree of humor, to what you're trying to actually do and accomplish. Your content strategy is so much dependent on who you are truly speaking to. Because if you were just to say, oh, SGAG do this, maybe I can bring it over to my page. I don't think that's going to happen. Because you got to change, you got to tweak it to how you want to speak to your target audience and how you build up to maybe your punchlines.
Yes.
Maybe you have more time, but we don't, because we need to grab the attention of the first 3 seconds.
Yes. Here is to also say that actually when we see trends, right, it doesn't mean that we cannot mimic that But I think what you're trying to say also is that we shouldn't rely completely on and replicate what is there.
Yes, exactly.
And actually, you don't have to like force yourself to do humor if humor is not your thing. Sometimes humor just comes naturally, right? Something that's forced is when you like deliberately go and duplicate them.
Yes, exactly. And then just one other point to make, and
Yep.
it's the fact that humor, it's quite hard to scale, right? Because inherently, hey, what you find funny might
May not
what I
be
find funny, right? So along the years, we realized that there's a little bit of a limitation to how humor can be scaled on a platform. If you want it to be truly funny, there are certain things that you can only play around with. Yeah, which is why we came up with the network and all the other development requirements that we're having.
Great. Okay, thank you so much, Yuxuan, for
Thank you.
sharing with us so much about
Thank you.
HEPMIL and what SGAG is about. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.